Have you ever considered that there are prisons specifically designed for women that are equally as dangerous as those notorious for men? While we often hear about the harrowing conditions faced by male prisoners, it's important to shed light on the equally alarming realities that exist in female prisons. In this eye-opening video, we'll delve into the most dangerous prisons for women, revealing shocking aspects of their lives behind bars. Prepare to be amazed by the grim circumstances faced by these incarcerated women. Number 10. Bana Female Prison, Egypt. Starting us off at number 10 is the Bana Female Prison in Egypt. Renowned for its crushingly overcrowded conditions, hygiene standards here would make a garbage dump seem luxurious. If you thought that was bad, rumors of torture seep through its foreboding walls, making this a living nightmare for the faint-hearted. Yet, the horrors don't stop there. Family visits? They're as hard to score as a winning lottery ticket, a deliberate ploy to extinguish any remaining flicker of hope. They say hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, but what about a woman caged? Number 9. Chowchilla Prison, California.
That's cold. Welcome to another episode, everyone. And as we can see, we're counting down the 10 most brutal, most violent women's prisons. Yes, women go to prison also. They serve a lot of time. They serve life sentences. Their prisons are violent, overcrowded, as we see in story number 10. They suffer a lot of abuse. Women do inside of these prisons at the hands of the guards, at the hands of other prisoners, etc. And a lot of them have it tough. And there are a lot of women that are in prisons in California and around the world. This is not the only California prison that made the list, because there are many California women's prisons, and the women in there, they have it rough.
Sweeping in at number 9 is the intimidating Chowchilla Prison in California, or the Central California Women's Facility. Housing a staggering 3,500 plus female inmates, Chowchilla bears the grim title of being the largest women's prison in the world. But
man, the largest one in the world. Chowchilla is very famous, a very famous prison, it's the most famous women's prison, I would say Chowchilla is. At least in California, it's been famous for a long time. Been hearing about Chowchilla for a long time. But I did not know that it was the biggest women's prison in the world. I suppose it makes sense as to why it's so famous, and it is brutal and violent, Chowchilla's prison. I personally know women that have been to that prison and have explained some of the things that have happened there, and they have been involved in violent incidents themselves there in Chowchilla Prison. So again, some of these women's prisons are just as violent as some of the men's prisons. They get extorted, they get abused, they get bullied. Some of these women are feminine, they're not tough, and they're going in here with women who are tough, who are hardcore, who are gang members, who have been locked up for a long time, know all of the ins and outs of prison and the prison politics, and they prey upon some of these women who enter, and they are not as strong as some of the women who've been there for a long time. Some of these women go through hell inside of these prisons.
It's not the size that sends shivers down the spine, it's the rampant violence. This place is a hotbed of gang activity. It's not unheard of for prison guards to turn a blind eye, fueling a might makes right mentality. Ever heard of survival of the fittest? In Chowchilla, it's more than just a theory, it's the chilling reality of everyday life. Number 8. Pul-e-Charkhi Prison, Afghanistan. Claiming the ominous 8th spot is the dreaded Pul-e-Charkhi Prison in Afghanistan. Its notorious male counterpart may ring some bells, but let's not forget about the women's section. It's just as chilling, if not more. In these bleak corridors, hunger isn't just a threat, it's a relentless pursuer, and basic amenities are a mirage in this desert of despair. Stories of brutal interrogations and deafening silences fill the air. Shockingly, there are accounts of women being confined in complete isolation for weeks on end, a form of psychological torture that breaks even the strongest of spirits. Meanwhile, the prison cemetery is ominously expanding, hinting at a mortality rate that nobody dares to officially confirm. They say silence is golden, but in Pul-e-Charkhi, it's a haunting echo of the freedoms left behind. Number 7.
I bet you a lot of those women, they don't make it. They can't survive that. It's tough for men in a lot of these prisons. They blank themselves because they just can't deal with the torture and the turmoil that these overcrowded prisons offer. They're starving in there nearly, they're very hungry. They have very minimal rations of food. And in a lot of these prisons, particularly in these poor countries, they don't have food inside of these prisons. So a lot of these people don't make it. And I've seen hardcore men that were not able to survive certain conditions and certain politics in the prison. And they got rid of themselves, if you will. So I can imagine the women then, since men are somewhat stronger in some ways, I can, even though women are strong emotionally as well at times, I can imagine a lot of them, these conditions will break them, have broken many of them, and they did not survive these conditions.
Tihar Jail, India. Perched ominously at 7th place is Tihar Jail in India. This colossal co-ed institution crams in nearly 17,000 souls, almost tripling its intended capacity. Assaults here are as predictable as the setting sun, and extortion is a grim side dish served daily. As for the living conditions, trust me, they're a nightmare you wouldn't wish upon your worst enemy.
How can there's no institution, prison institution, jail, any of that, that's fit for 17,000 people. 17,000 people in this jail. He says 3 times its intended capacity. Yes, I'm sure there's no capacity, no system set up that I know of in the world that's designed to hold 17,000 individuals in one institution. So these women here then are going through it. If it's 3 times the capacity, how are they sleeping? Where are they sleeping? How much food are they really getting to eat? If it's designed to feed 1/3 less than what it is, or 2/3 less than what it is feeding, they're going through hell.
Rampant corruption has been reported, with guards allegedly taking bribes to smuggle in forbidden items. In a shocking revelation, it's also said that a horrifying number of inmates are languishing here without trial, trapped in a legal limbo. Amidst this cacophony of injustice and chaos, the only melody that resonates is the chilling hymn of despair. The only band these women form is a chain of shared suffering, a harmony found only in shared heartbreak.
Yeah. Going through it.
Number 6, Black Dolphin Prison, Russia.
Oh, Black Dolphin.
Securing the sinister 6th spot, we journey north to Russia's infamous...
Heard about Black Dolphin Prison. I did an episode on Black Dolphin Prison for the men. It's probably the worst situation I've covered that I've seen. I've seen very bad conditions in some of these prisons, covering them. Mainly the overcrowding. I've seen 100 people inside of one cell, like Seacock Prison, where you can't, Seacock is horrible. You can't come out, and it's so crowded. But I've seen situations where there are 100 individuals in the cell, and they're all using the same water faucet, and they can only use the water a certain time of the day, even though it's 50 people inside of a cell, 100 people. But this Black Dolphin is horrible because it's one individual inside of a cell. You don't have a cellie. And when you come out, you're bent, you're cuffed up, you're bent over, have to put your head down, and they putting your head down, walking you everywhere. That was for the men. I remember this prison. If it's like that for the women too, it's for sure breaking these women. They can't deal with this.
Black Dolphin Prison. Redemption here isn't just lost, it's an extinct concept. Serving as Russia's own Alcatraz, this prison is the final destination for the nation's deadliest female and male offenders alike. But life here transcends mere incarceration. It's a chilling exploration into relentless psychological torment. It's said that prisoners are made to stand for hours, blindfolded and hunched during cell transfers. In an even more dehumanizing move, inmates are allegedly not allowed to rest on their beds during the day, a measure to ensure complete submission to the system. Truly, it's a grim showcase of the darkest recesses of the human capacity for control and cruelty.
Yeah. Okay.
Number 5.
So that's the same prison. Now we got Bangkok. So that's a Black Dolphin. So they house men and women there. It's not a different prison in Russia, one for women and one for men. Sounds like that same one that I had covered, Black Dolphin for the men. There are also women there. In one of the units, modules, buildings, sections, they house women as well. No way that these women are just surviving. Now, some women are tough, though. They're tough. But that is a tough prison. He didn't really break it down right there. That was one of the tough, that one, just covering it, I remember, still gives me nightmares.
Bangkok Women's Correctional Institution, Thailand. At number 5, get ready to step into the hellscape that is Bangkok Women's Correctional Institution in Thailand. Yeah. Packed to the gills with over 2,000 inmates crammed into a space intended for a mere 500, it's a claustrophobic nightmare come to life. Here, proper health care and adequate hygiene are luxuries. Skin diseases are uninvited bedfellows as rampant and persistent as the smothering Thai heat. And then there's
skin diseases. Let's not just gloss over that. So it's, they got these this ankle stuff on too. You got all these skin diseases there. He said it was meant for 500 women, but it houses 2,000, 4 times the capacity. Yes, claustrophobic and diseases are going to run rampant more than likely. And they have these ankles on, these ankle shackles on. And these things cause your ankle, feet, and everything else to swell up. Eventually, you can lose your feet from the ankle down. Many individuals have in these prisons that have these practices.
The infamous Attitude Adjustment Program, a euphemism that only masks the grim reality of physical and psychological torment. Life here isn't about serving time. It's about surviving every minute of what feels like an eternity in a world where hope is scarce and fear is abundant. Number 4, Valley State Prison, California. We're back in the Golden State at the infamous Valley State Prison in California. Right across the street from our number 9 Chowchilla Prison, this establishment was originally hailed as a milestone of forward-thinking prison policy when it flung open its doors to male inmates in 2013. But the stark reality, violence here has exploded like a supernova, and the women inmates have been hurled into a vortex.
I mean, it's just crazy. They have these California prisons on the list with these prisons around the world in Egypt, Bangkok, and such. So 2 California prisons so far. I haven't seen one from New York, Atlanta, Detroit, Chicago. It's tough in California. The prisons are tough, even for the women. They on par with these tough prisons around the world. Hell, Chowchilla, as we just found out, is the biggest prison around the world, or in the world, for women. And it is violent, as the narrator alluded to. It is replete with gang violence, even the women's prison in Chowchilla in California. But this is not to prepare the prison. It's all bad. It's all horrible. We don't want this stuff happening anywhere. We don't want to see women in prison anywhere. We want these ladies out, home with their family and children. And yes, some of them have committed crimes, but some of them do not deserve to be in prison, just like some men do not. It's just, it's the government. It's the laws that the government themselves do not follow.
Of horror they never bargained for. The prison's dire reputation is fueled by incidents of abuse, with staff allegedly exploiting their positions of power. Shockingly, there are even reports of an inmate black market where those with means can buy privileges while the less fortunate suffer. Progressive prison policies here seem to have drowned in the tidal wave of chaos, an illusion shattered by the grim reality of daily life in Valley State. Number 3. Rosie's jail at Rikers Island,
Okay,
New
there we
York.
go.
Clinching the Grim Bronze Medal of Notoriety is the Rose M. Singer Center, or Rosie's Jail, at the infamous Rikers Island in New York. Neglect and corruption are customary, and brutality is a frequent end to an agonizing daily marathon. It's reported that medical neglect has resulted in preventable inmate fatalities. However, the real horror lies deeper in the oppressive mental health conditions. In a damning testament to systemic failure, many inmates allegedly suffer untreated mental illnesses, resulting in a prison populace on the brink of despair. Yet more chilling, Rikers Island has earned the grim nickname Gladiator School for its rampant and vicious inter-prisoner violence. Number 2, Alcala.
Okay. Was it Spain? Spain? Of course, many of us have heard of Rikers Island. I didn't necessarily know that they had a female ward, Rosie. Rikers Island, where the females are at, apparently is pretty infamous for being violent amongst the females and for their medical conditions going untreated. They had some of the same problems in the men's part of the jail, Rikers Island. They were just talking about they have been talking about shutting it down for overcrowding and poor conditions and many other things. But from my understanding, they have not shut the place down yet, Rikers Island. So apparently then the women are over there as well and going through some of the same things that the men are going through there in Rikers Island.
De Guadaira, Spain. Notorious for human rights violations and suffocating overcrowding, this prison isn't just a cell block, it's a concrete coffin. The ghostly corridors echo with haunting stories of mental, physical, and emotional abuse. Stripped of dignity, the women here face terrifying ordeals that would make even the most callous hearts break. Number 1, Pedrinhas Women's Detention Center, Brazil. Topping our nightmarish list is the hellhole known as Pedrinhas Women's Detention Center in Brazil. Here, violence isn't just rampant, it's as essential to life as oxygen. Safety here is a forgotten dream. But here's the worst part. The wardens reportedly place bets on the death toll. It's not just a prison, it's a morbid lottery where survival is the jackpot.
That's messed up, man. These places be crooked. The wardens placing bets on the death toll. These are women in here. These are people. These are people's daughters, wives, mothers. They are the forgotten in society. They are the throwaways of society. That's the problem of all of these societies. Let's try to redeem them, help them redeem themselves, get them help, and usher them back into a productive society. Not bet on their demise. They're in prison. There you have it. Let me know what you think in the comments. 10 worst women's prisons in the world, and they seem pretty bad, horrific, and these women are going through hell. You have people in there, family members in there, in these women's prisons are men. Support them. Stay safe and stay free, people.